water
No, I'm sorry I'm interrupting. So when somebody builds a road, assuming a road contractor is building the road, whether it's under the national highway, state highway, whatever it is, whose responsibility is it to provide drain in those roads?
In the specification, it has to be included that there should be a drain as well. That's what I said. National highway is different culture. But if you look at cities, what normally happens is, I'm sure we all have seen, the footpaths are taken away to widen the roads. And along the sides of the roads, there is no proper drain built. The water can flow. That seems to be the pattern in a good number of our cities.
Okay, I want to go across to our first caller. Mr. Rangarajan is calling us from Bengaluru, where we witnessed just a couple of weeks ago large parts of what's called the outer ring road, the new IT corridor, completely submerged. Now, when you see what's happening here in Gurugram, Mr. Rangarajan, what does that make you feel? Does it make you feel angry?
So I've been living in Mumbai. I lived in Gurugram. I have lived in Bangalore. I see universally we have a lack of planning. Town planning, urban planning is lacking. We have seen the experience of in Mumbai about 10 years back, 10 or 15 years back, and the entire city was drowned. And we never learned experience of making new urban planning. And it's very thoughtless of the managers of the urban planning in all the metro cities. We are not planning for the future. I am sitting with my grandchild who is listening to it, and she says, what is the future for us when we will not be allowed to go to school, will not be able to reach the offices, will not be able to do anything when the season strikes, the rain strikes.
All right. Thanks very much, Mr. Rangarajan. Incidentally, here in the entire National Capital Region, schools were shut today because there was no way that kids could reach school. I mean, can you imagine, like, you have to go back to online classes just because, a city can't handle rain? Arindam is calling us from Gurugram. Yes, Arindam, which part of Gurugram are you, and are you relatively safe and okay?
Safe or okay, I can't say, but we are staying in Venice.
Okay.
And all surrounded by water. Whenever it rains, the water nearly gets in. I am in sector 56. And in our area, in the specific area where I stay, we get water. We are just next to the golf course extension road, which is supposed to be one of the posh roads. Unfortunately, 5-6 years back, the same issue had happened. And then the government had, the municipality said that they don't have funds. Then they made a development authority, and even the development authority doesn't do the work. So it is all the right hand blaming the left hand and the left hand blaming the right hand.
All right, thanks very much for your call. Fascinating thing about Gurugram is just in the last 2-3 years or so, there is a fascinating set of underpasses and over bridges and all of that that's come up. But for God's sake, build some drains, will you? Build some drains where the water can drain out too. Anyway, let me go to Umesh Sehgal, because everybody, all of our callers, all of our guests are saying, sir, this is just simply bad urban planning. So I keep coming back to that question. I mean, whose job it is to do this urban planning? When a road is built, is it bound on the contractor that you also have to build the drain adjacent to that road?
No, that is a must. There is a drain adjacent to every road. There has to be a drain. But the water ultimately has to be, if you see the macro position, this is the macro position, it drains into the next drain. But ultimately, where is it to go? The water has to flow into the Jamuna. Now, one of the things that we have ignored is, except the some part of Lutyens and some part of the ridge, our Delhi is same level as almost the same level as the mean mean flood level of the Jamuna. Now, as the rains come, especially in the hinterland, as in Delhi, the Jamuna level rises. So the water which flows in from the storm water drains, from the road drains, it goes into the storm water drains. From the storm water drains, it goes into the river. As the river rises, the flow of water decreases. It comes less. And the second problem is your underpasses. Underpasses, they have put pumps. Pumps are not enough to take away the rain in less than a couple of hours. So, in my view, the solution is rainwater harvesting. We have to harvest part of this water, let all the water not flow into the Jamuna, if roof water can be taken into the storm water drains, into the groundwater, why not road water as well?
All right.
And if some technological improvements have to be made, let us work on it.
I think that's a
because
fair
unless
point.
we do that,
Yeah.
year after year, we are going to have the same problem.
Yeah, if you can
We
do
have the
rainwater
problem
harvesting
again
for
and again.
buildings, for
So we
houses,
need
apartments,
properly
etc.
designed.
Yeah.
We need. No, it can be made for roads also. It can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
done,
correct. I agree with
but
you.
there is
I
the
agree with
problem. They say there are tires and.
Yeah. All
So
right.
it should
Let
be
me get
done.
a
It's
couple
my
more
view,
callers
otherwise
in
this problem will remain.
because that's the whole, we're trying to get as many callers in. Madhav Rao is calling us from Bangalore. Mr. Madhav Rao, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to all the panelists also.
Mm-hmm.
I have only a very simple point. I don't want to use any technical jargon. I want to make it very, very simple here. Okay. See, Bangalore, yes, we have seen there are a lot of problems regarding flooding, and same thing we are seeing elsewhere also. See, it is very simple. When we are hungry, what we will do? We will not really do anything. We just go out and out to get our food. It is very simple. So, when there is any problem, it should not be so difficult to solve the problem. It is only the question of really showing that intent and seriousness to solve the problem. In a legislature or a parliament, if they want to really get their wages increase, okay, either the MPs or the MLAs here, what they do, they take 10-15 minutes actually to get that bill passed.
Okay.
Whether it is pension or wages, whatever it is. Such a serious problem. If they really want to solve it, it's not difficult at all. Once they decide, automatically all the technical points will come.
All right.
There are such eminent people are there, intelligent people are there. It should not be difficult at all.
All right, Mr. Madhav Rao, thank you for your call. Kushal is calling us from Delhi. Kushal.
Yeah, good evening to all the panelists and everybody here.
Yes.
This is an annual problem or happening for last 70 years. Maybe it was less earlier and more because of uncontrolled constructions and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Narrow lanes, by-lanes, city developing to more than their magnitude. Whatever is being done is under the government eyes and their ears, but nothing is being done to control anything. Every year we spend so much of money, and where it goes finally in which drain, nobody knows.
All right. Okay, Kushal, thank you for your call. Let me get a couple more callers in. Unni Nair is calling us from Gurugram. Yes, Mr. Nair.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Zaka, good evening. I'm calling you from Gurugram, sector 57.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is something which we had been, debating every year, and this has been going on in Gurugram for the last 3-4 years. No, but nothing is coming out of this. Now, I also feel that as taxpayers, we all are responsible for this. We are not raising our voice against this as a community. And that's primarily the reason that, this is going on for year after year, and we are suffering year after year.
Okay, thanks, Uni, for your call. Can I ask Dilip to respond to that? I mean, there's a view, a large section of people are saying that, it can't just be the politicians, it can't just be the government. How much can government do? Do you subscribe to that view?
I don't. Most of what is needed at this point of time is actually large-scale intervention, not in the hands of even RWAs. So you really need to, as one of the panelists has said, think in terms of redesigning a lot of things.
Okay.
How roads are constructed, what stormwater drains can do, how can you ensure, for example, that much greater levels of water harvesting can be encouraged. These require very simple but large-scale governmental interventions.
All right.
A tax break to road constructors who actually do this, whatever it is. So I think that it's very generous to say we must all be responsible, but there's pretty little that individuals can do when it rains and pours like this.
I think, as individuals, as, companies, private establishments, we pay our taxes. It's not our job to go build roads or drains. It's the job of the government. It's the job of the contractors to do that. It's the job of the government to ensure that contractors build those drains. It's the job of the municipality to ensure those drains are cleared out before the monsoon season. Anyway, I've got Brijesh, who's also calling us from Delhi. He'll be our final caller. Yeah, Brijesh, quickly, please, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, Jaka. I have just heard all these panelists. These people have pointed out so many things and all. At the same time, what we have learned from the Lutyens Delhi,